What's going on, guys? It's Jackson. We are midday through today. It's Friday. Today has been a not so busy day, but going to get busy. But I'm actually going to be studying all of these supplements, the benefits, what actually their, what would you say, benefits are of each and every one of these ingredients. This is the Hero Stack made by Mr. Belmar himself. I'm excited to, learn about most of these supplements and kind of do some research and whatnot. But for this video in specifically, I kind of wanted to go over just health and what I've learned over the last 3 years because man, there's a lot of problems, and as you would think society should get smarter and whatnot, I think it's actually going the opposite way. I think a lot of people are actually becoming dumber, lazier, more out of shape. Like everything is just deteriorating in their bodies, their lifestyle, their work. More people are being lazy, ordering food to their door. Just complete sedentary lifestyle, and that is one of the biggest issues in today's world is living in a life of not moving a ton. And I've been in that same position. I used to actually work a lot, 10 plus hours a day. I would come home and sit in this desk and eat terrible foods, seed oils, soda, just anything you can think about. And I used to play video games for hours, no blue light blockers, just screen to my face for hours and hours and hours. And I did that consistently, and I gained 20 pounds easily in a year. Now, it wasn't muscle, it was mostly fat. And, I hit this moment in my life where I was just, I needed to change. I needed to start learning. I needed to start dialing in. So I did your, gym bro approach. I started doing chicken and rice, microwave, plastic. Went vegan for a little bit. Was doing tons of bean burgers, Carl's Jr. burgers, like trying to be healthy, quote unquote. But it's hilarious, kind of the journey I've been through. But I stumbled upon an individual on Instagram that I was looking into just for some personal brand coaching, and he was in pretty good shape, and he was preaching about an animal-based diet, and it actually looked pretty good. I was like, dang, just steaks all the time, fruit bowls, like. So I gave it a go, and I got pretty consistent with it, and I kept doing it, and I actually noticed a lot of fat reduction, like a lot of weight. I did lose a little bit of muscle mass. I think I was just not eating enough carbs, and I was like training in the red zone, and basically like that diet kind of set me up to start going down more rabbit holes and learning a ton. And I'm going to get into the health aspects here in a second, but then I got into Capital Club. As some of you guys might know, it's Luke Belmar's it's his club community, and I found his brother Nate. Now Nate is a great guy because he's been in similar situations with his health, physiques, whatnot, and the man became super educated, lots of trial and error, and eventually his foundation baseline right now is incredible. Like, he just dropped these supplements, and I've been taking them now for a month, and in my opinion they're all really great. I love the burn, especially after heavy meals, the motivate, hormone boost. Like, I feel like I'm always like a good person now. Like, that's something I really noticed is I used to be a mad person, and like not just from this specifically like helping me out, but I just feel better, like, honestly. And it's helping all my hormones balancing, and I feel amazing. But Nate's introduced me to a lot of concepts, a lot of knowledge and information that's been lost over the years of society. And it's actually came down to a really simple aspects, and they all make complete sense. And I started learning a ton and really consuming a ton of information and learning what I should be doing? What should I be taking on my, let's say for the shreds, for the builds, and just for overall health, like just being healthy. And I've learned so much over the years, but Nate's brought a whole different perspective to me, and it's super holistic. It's super, aiming towards longevity, not just trying to get jacked and all huge and, you know, doing it just for women or ego lifting just against your friend all the time. Like it's more of a holistic approach, and I actually fallen in love with nature, walking a ton. As you guys know, I'm a walking machine. I'm always outdoors, shirt off, no shoes, sunlight, grounding, getting into more stretching, hitting bands, like trying to mix up because I've always been one minded. I got to hit weight all the time. And I've actually been facing a scapula popping syndrome, whatever. And I'm actually going to try to fix it because I've been taking time off and, just kind of letting it do its thing. But something is still irritated and it's not in the right place, so I'm going to be focusing on that highly. But to get into this video, I've been through a lot and I've found decent progress over the last year, 2 years. And I've clean bulked for my first time, and it was this month or over the last 6-8 months. And I learned a ton, learned a lot of things that I struggled with, a lot of things I could do better when it comes to training, when it comes to eating. Like I needed to eat a lot more, and that's something I found out quick. Even though I was fasting in the morning and then I was, doing big meals, like still was just like not the right calories because I think I was walking way too much, honestly. But so as I said, let's get into this video. Wanted to go over this concept that we've become dumber as society. We've become lazier, dumber, and more people are out of shape than the world has ever been to. And you would think we should be getting more, I would say, smarter with science, with doctors, but it seems like it's the complete opposite. I think it's actually intentionally, and obviously it is. And what I've noticed is my family's changed a lot from the way they look, the way they feel, the way they operate. When it's, coming home from work and then it's eating and sitting on the couch the rest of the night with the TV on, no blue light blockers, and then it's going right to bed, repeat process day by day, weeks on weeks, months on months. And I see the compounding effect really playing a role. And, a lot of people are doing the exact same thing. A lot of people are drinking alcohol. A lot of people are smoking. A lot of people are just not doing the things that a human should be doing. And that's what I always tell people all the time is do what a human would do. What would a human actually do? Like really close your eyes and think a long time ago what humans were doing. They were either maybe wearing sandals, maybe no shoes. They were in nature a lot because there wasn't a bunch of buildings with 5G towers and hot boxes. They were actually in pretty chill nature without tons of distraction, tons of fast food to always go to every single day. They were harvesting, they were finding meats, they were, being farmers, they were probably cooking their own food and getting lots of sunlight. Probably for water, I think they would find a spring nearby. They weren't finding, Costco water bottles and Dasani and bullshit plastic water bottles. And you can kind of see the picture on kind of print. It's very simple, honestly. It's, cooking at home. It's getting sunlight. It's avoiding, highly inflammatory foods like omega-6 fatty acids. It's, dyes. It's red 40 colorings, sugar. Like, it's honestly really easy. And a lot of people think, health is very hard. It's very impossible. And I used to think the same thing. Now, the way you have to approach this is, I have to be a student again. I have to actually learn what the hell humans actually did, because nobody's doing it. And you might say, what do you mean no one's being a human? Yeah, no one is. Got a bunch of AI robots, man, on their phone all day that eat terrible foods. And then you have, chasing dopamine. You have people addicted to this, addicted to that, Celsius, addicted to that one, and like all the energy drinks. Like, people are just super botted. And the best thing you can do is hedge yourself from these things. You need to start actually digesting how your parents look, how your grandparents look, how people around you, your neighbors, are they obese? Are they out of shape? Do they have a gut? Do they look healthy? Do they look unhealthy? How does their habits look? Do you see them walking? Do you see them getting sunlight? Like, if all the animals are doing it, why do we feel so special and not able to do it? Like, what I mean by get sunlight is actually intentionally go outside a few times a day to get sun, not just to walk to your car or go to the grocery store and be like, oh, I'm getting sun. No, like, actually going out there with the intention of, I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna go touch some grass, I'm gonna get some sun. Like, that's how I roll every single day. I actually know what I need to do, and all of it goes stacking, right? I've been doing this for a year now, and I can tell you, just from the consistency and doing this stuff, like, I honestly feel amazing, and the sun is a very powerful tool. And back to, just society right now, I just feel like, some people have their awakening and some people actually kind of know what to do, but it's so people being addicted to these chemicals, these delicious foods. And I get it, bro. Like, I loved Chick-fil-A, I loved Cane's, I loved everything. Nothing tasted bad to me. It was all tasting good. I could stuff my face all the freaking time. But it got up to me, and luckily I caught myself before I got super obese, but it would have just kept happening. I would have turned into this gamer, fat ass, you name it. And it sucks, man. The world really sucks. But the world is also a great place. There's a lot of healthy people. There's a lot of great people. And this is what you can start doing now to hedge yourself from these things. Going from, maybe you're in this position right now where you're unhealthy, out of shape, you're full of inflammation, you're living a very sedentary lifestyle, you're addicted to Netflix, video games, pornography, you're ordering takeout, you're always eating. If you go shop, you're shopping at Walmart, Smith's, your Macy's, you're shopping at okay places, but what are you actually getting? I've been shopping at Sprouts for over 2 years now, and I can tell you Whole Foods is a lot better than your general bigger stores. And, as this year's progressed, I've moved towards a lot of local farmers. Actually cooking a chicken right now on the smoker. It's actually my first time. I've actually never smoked my own meat. My dad usually does, but here I got like you can kind of see the chicken right here, just 30-40 miles away. I'm seasoning it up. I'm actually making an edit right now. But, like, guys, this is what it comes down to, just cooking your own food. Spices help with digestive properties. But the food matters, bro. And that's the thing you might have to do. You might have to throw everything in your pantry away and just say, like, okay, bro, this is all I got. Maybe keep it, but if you do have the extra couple dollars, bro, throw everything away, bro. Everything. And really want to change your life around. Really take this huge step of, like, I just spent all this money, but me throwing away all this is going to allow me to change. It's going to allow me to eat better, be healthier. And, I've done the same thing. I've thrown away terrible protein powders when I was trying to get healthy. I was throwing away tons of carbohydrates. I was getting rid of cereal, like all these things. And, I started shopping at Costco, Trader Joe's, and then that slowly transitioned into Sprouts, Whole Foods. Now it's local farmers with Whole Foods. And I can tell you, just simply changing your grocery store are already going to make big changes. And clearing out the pantry is first, and then finding a better store. If you say, I don't have the money, I sacrifice a little bit so I'm not eating out all the time, or I'm not partying. I'm not spending my money on all this dumb stuff. I actually invest it back into myself so I can feel better, healthier, operate, getting focused, doing more. And it's very possible. You just have to budget. You just have to say, I can't be spending $3,000 on rent. Maybe you might have to go move to the shittier house right now, take your health serious, develop in your career, your business, and voila, you're back to the same spot. You're healthier, you have more money, whatnot. But you need to sacrifice. You need a budget, bro. Like, that's what I do. Like, I spend a decent, I don't even spend a lot of money. Like, people complaining, bro, and I'd be saying, like, you'd be spending the same money eating out, eating terrible things. Like, today I went and had a steak at this place. It's actually pretty healthy. They don't use seed oils. They actually use pretty good ingredients, but like you could tell like the steak is like not steak, bro. It's like ground steak, but it's worse. Like the quality is USDA and it's terrible. But anyways, from that, like once you clear the pantry and then you find a better store, then it's making these small steps, because I don't really suggest you going from unhealthy state properties to trying to be the healthiest person in the world. I don't expect you to drop everything, but what I want to see is slow progression. I want to see you actually say, you know what? I just cleared my pantry. Now I'm eating tons of fruit, tons of maple syrup, sweet potatoes, eggs, milk. I'm finding some sugary, healthy treats. Like, even if you have a sweet tooth, like, go eat all the good sourced like organic things, because you are going to obviously have to reduce that, but at least switch to the healthier stuff first. You know, if you're eating tons of granny bread, whatever the breads you eat, you know, maybe do sourdough instead. Way better for the gut, not as much gluten, especially if you get double fermented. You can really transition just from switching from the same foods to a different source with better ingredients. And then obviously, depending on your physique, you know, you can take it to, oh, am I trying to shred or am I trying to bulk? But I can tell you this: animal-based diet is a great foundation to start going off of. And, you know, it's going to get you eating the red meats, which are with tons of nutrients, eggs, tons of nutrients, raw milk, raw dairy, raw yogurt, kefir, berries, wild blueberries, organic bananas, tons of fat. Like, bro, do tons of fat. I promise you, it's going to be great for your hormones, and your body is going to learn how to use fat as energy. That's a whole different video, but start eating organic whole foods, and that alone is going to make you less hungry. It's going to allow you to absorb more nutrients. Your body's going to feel cleansed. And then you can get into, you know, drinking spring water. Don't be drinking tap water like the rest of the people. Actually drink spring water. If it's a local spring, or if it's actual spring water, you can actually get filtered water from a grocery store. I get it. I put it in big jugs. I don't put it in the sun. It's in the low light environment. And then I'll put mineral drops in it because it's completely unmineralized. At least I think so. I just add minerals, in my opinion. It's just better, like, for this, like, a spring water. Yeah, like, that alone is going to take you very far. And then that's a great foundation to start off of. Like, there's no point of me telling you to start doing this, start doing that. Like, that's bottom line right there. That's the foundation. It's clearing the shelf. It's changing your store to a better store. And then it's eating organic whole foods. Ideally, you want to avoid plastic. You want to avoid seed oils. You want to avoid tons of pasteurized stuff. You want to get organic, non-GMO. And you want to focus on a lot of meats, a lot of fat, and then do some carbs. I'm not going to condemn carbs. I do carbs. I don't do carbs. But I think you should cycle it and slowly transition to almost like an animal-based carnivore kind of approach. And the reason why I say that is because if you're doing tons of protein, which is great, and then you're doing with tons of fat, which protein and fat go very well together. But if you're doing tons of potatoes and rice and red meat together all the time, it's gonna put a toll on your body. You're gonna get the itis a lot. You're gonna be like food coma and whatnot. So I suggest kind of doing your carbs either earlier in the day or later in the day, but ideally don't mix your carbs with protein. And you can literally make simple meals. Like people would say, oh, cooking takes too much time and whatnot. I'm just like, I thought the same thing, and then I started doing it, bro, and it's actually very simple. And it doesn't take me a lot of time to cook. Like I just prep this chicken maybe 4 or 5 minutes and turned the switch on the smoker. When the smoker was ready, I threw it on, and when that timer goes off, I'm gonna take it off, maybe let it cool down a little bit, and then feast, bro. And I did that a few days ago. My girlfriend made pot roast, put it in the pot roast, seared it, put it in spices, water or bone broth. 6-8 hours later, it's ready. Boom. Like, you guys see how easy it can really be. It really is, but people think you have to get all fancy with it, and yeah, you don't. You can make it really simple. And, what I'll finish up on is, the foundation is what's going to allow you to elevate. Like, I don't expect you guys to go from zero to hero, but you should slowly start making this progression. And even if it takes you a few months, 6 months, like at least you're changing instead of not changing. You could be 6 months back set worse, but instead you're 6 months ahead, even though you're not at a great foundation. Like, bro, you're a lot better than you were. And it's very possible. Like, you guys should, anyone can do this. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do it? And, this is my first YouTube video, and I wanted to, start it off with the foundation, because that's exactly what I did. I wasn't taking every supplement in the world. I was taking protein powder, creatine, but that was it. But I was mainly focused on the food inputs. I was saying no to fast foods. If I had work, I was trying to make leftovers, or I was really picky when I went out to eat. I was really choosing what I actually thought was healthy, like really wasn't, but I was still trying to do my best. And that's what matters. And, health is very important, because if you don't have health, like, you're going to be like most people. You're going to be popping pills. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be fat. You're going to be living a very sedentary lifestyle. You're not going to be working the job you wanted to. You're going to be depressed. You're not going to have money. You're not going to have maybe a girlfriend, a wife, attraction. Maybe they do have a wife, but then they're slowly pushing away because you don't have no good habits. Like, life can be really hard, but what I can tell you is health alone is going to take you very far. Because there's 3 things that I think are really important in this life. It's health is number 1, and then it's 2, which is relationships, family, which is very important, kids, and I would say 3 is your money, your financials. Because without money, bro, like, it's the game of survival now. Like, if you don't care about money, then you go do everything on your own. But having money allows, you to be flexible, be able to do different things with your money and buy food when you don't have to harvest it all. And especially if it's greatly sourced, and, it's nice to spend your money on that instead of bullshit. Oh, it's so good. Like, so many people are addicted to freaking fast food, and, it's the chemicals, and I get it, bro. I used to love that shit, but not anymore. My taste buds have changed a lot. And the best thing you guys can do is just, like I said, start making progression. Start telling yourself, start writing it down, start making smaller, better choices. Throw the soda away, throw the coffee away, take a break from the caffeine. Just throw it all away. Like, all of it's terrible. And throw the chips away, throw the candy away, throw it all away. Take the TV down, put a whiteboard up, like, buy a laptop, like, buy some bands, like, start changing your life around. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And it's worth it because your health is the number 1 thing that matters in this world. And I know all of us want to look better, feel better. We want to, operate differently, especially if you're an athlete. You really need to be taking care of your health, your sleep, your recovery, and what you do on a daily basis to affect your performance. But this sums up the video, guys. It's been about 25 minutes, dropped a lot of sauce. Take action. Start caring more about yourself. Start understanding that, your choices from how you eat today might affect your choices in the future to, not caring. Your family's going to see you becoming more obese and not caring, and you're more fat, and you can't touch your knees, you can't touch your shins, and then you get older and then you can't even grab your grandchild. Oh, my back is sitting in your chair. So focus on today and what you need to do in order to be healthier. Anyways, that sums up the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Gonna be dropping a lot of sauce here in the future, doing vlogs, doing some stretching routines that I'm not perfect with the stretching, but we're going to be learning together. Going to be dropping a lot of sauce on these supplements. They aren't mine, but I am really close with the creator, Mr. Belmar. Going to be deep diving into a lot of these really great ingredients. And if you are looking for supplements, all of these are fantastic. I would highly suggest taking them. But as I said, clean the pantry, start eating organic whole foods, and start moving more. That is something I did not preach, but start moving more. Thank you, guys. Have a great night, good day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.